What's going on, everybody? Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by G Fuel Energy. Right now, you can use code DannyD to snag 10% off anything on the G Fuel website. My top 4 flavors are Wumpa Fruit, PewDiePie, Ice Shatter, and the new Pink Trip. It seems like there's always new G Fuel products coming out or stuff being restocked, so go take a look and you might see something that you like. We're also super close to getting a Danny Dorito 23 G Fuel shaker made, and that's always been a dream of mine. So go save some dinero and help make that dream a reality. Today's guest is a returning guest. I've looked up to him since I started on TikTok. I always admired that even though I was just a little guy at the time, he talked to me like anybody else. We always seem to be in kind of similar life situations, so we always end up talking about a lot of personal stuff. I really enjoyed this conversation, and I hope you do too. Please welcome Chunky Hustle. Boom, we're recording.
We're live.
So it's been like 5 months, I think, almost, since the last time we talked on the podcast.
5 months and like 1.3 million followers, I think.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like you said, man, it's just gotta keep doing it, and then one day, you know, that way will just get bigger.
See, I didn't lie to you, did I? It's a grind, man. I knew you would get it eventually, man. I knew you would. It's just that's how it is for everybody. Like, eventually, you just get that pop, and you just ride it, and it just goes, man. And then, like, I mean, you even got partnered before that. Like, you've been just crushing it, man. Like, I thought 2020 and 2021 was the year of the hustle. It was the year of the Danny Dorito as well, man. You crushed it. You know, I feel like you and I are like literally the same person right now. So you just moved, to your new place. I'm moving into my new house next week. You guys got a puppy. We got 2 puppies. You know, you got partnered on Twitch this year. I got partnered on Twitch this year. You got your million on TikTok. I got my million on TikTok. We're like the same person pretty much. I'm like the chunky version of you.
Yeah. Dude, I don't even remember where I was at last time. You said 1.3 million. Is that?
I think you were around 300,000.
So I had just started to like pop off a little bit because it pretty much stayed. It stayed pretty steady since then.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a week here and there where it kind of slows down a little, but then it like picks back up. Like it's I think it's because I post a lot. But
no, I mean a lot of very big creators do post a lot. I typically stick to one a day. Lately, I haven't even been posting one every other day just because of everything going on, and with life and everything right now. But you're gonna reach a point too. A lot of us did, where you're just gonna kind of cap out for now. You know what I mean? You're gonna plateau as far as following. Your view count should still stay consistent, but like you're gonna reach a point where the following might cap out. And then that, like I said again, that's when you kind of just push through it again, and then you'll jump again. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's hills and valleys with this stuff, but I think right now you're still on a pretty good upswing. So I think you still got quite a bit of growth before you ever see that plateau. And who knows? Maybe you never will. Maybe you're the next Charlie D'Amelio of the world out here.
I don't know about that. I sometimes think that I'll be like, all right, I think today's the day that it's gonna like slow down, and then all of a sudden, like that day, a video like yesterday will hit like 5 million. I'm just like, I don't understand. I can never tell why either. It's just some random video will pop off.
Nobody knows anymore, man. The algorithm's like unpredictable at this point. I don't even have an answer for you because I have videos that I thought should have done well based on previous analytics that don't do well. And I've gotten to the point now where I look at it like, I've built this following. The people that really want to watch me, they're still searching me up every day, seeing what I'm posting and what I'm doing. I feel like for you, obviously as a full-time content creator, you need to have a large footprint, but I feel like your end game for you is probably like a YouTube or like a Twitch, and you're really excelling at both of those, So the way I look at it is if I were to get canceled today on TikTok, or if TikTok were to end today, look at all the things that I have accomplished and the things that I'll still be able to do because of this experience. And that's where I like, because I used to sweat the views, man. I used to sweat the views big time. It's always a struggle to stay relevant. But now, like you said, like when you feel like you're falling off, here comes that next million+ viewed video that just hypes you right back up. Like, yeah, I got this still. I got this. And it's just it's a weird experience, man. But I think you got a good thing going on. You got a very strong follower base. That it seems like they're really loyal. So I think you got a great thing going on.
Yeah, my wife also started a TikTok. I don't know if you saw that. and
Yeah,
she
I
just
followed her back. I saw her comment on one of my videos. I was like, "Oh, that's Danny's wife." I was like,
she
"I
hit
didn't even know she
300K
made
today.
TikToks." That's awesome, man. Like, so me and the wife got a deal, and this is down low information right here. Available exclusively on the Danny Dorito
Exclusive to the.
podcast.
All right.
We have a deal, me and my wife, and we made this deal when I first got my first 100,000 followers. She will make a TikTok. And so we're doing the IVF thing, right? So next
Yeah.
week is her implantation day. Technically the day she'll be pregnant. And then we gotta wait a couple weeks to find out and make sure everything, worked and that everything took. Well, when that time comes and we find out that we're actually pregnant and all that,
Mhm.
that is the day she will start making TikToks. That was the deal we made. She had to be pregnant for her to start making TikToks. So I'm like, cashing in the check,
Oh man.
hopefully. So who knows? Maybe we'll see some Mrs. Hustle content. But yeah, your wife's
Awesome.
killing it. She's doing like the art thing and everything.
Yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
then my mom's posting TikToks, my sister's posting TikTok. But they got
Oh
the
man.
whole Dorito family taking over TikTok.
Well,
So
look, the weird thing is that's what happens. Like, so like when I like started to gain a following and stuff, my cousin started doing it. My sister started wanting to do it. Like my brother, who doesn't even do TikTok, was like, "Hey, you gotta put me in one of your TikToks." It's like, like what? Yeah,
I
man,
got a
it's
what?
crazy,
Yeah.
but it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah,
You
no,
know.
it's cool to see. Because my sister, she kind of just stays home with the dogs, and
Mhm.
my brother-in-law, he travels for work, so it gives her
Yeah.
something to do.
Yeah.
But she just joined the creator fund, so she's excited about that.
Oh yeah. Well, I
So
think it's cool for like that your wife's doing it now too because you guys for your main TikTok, you're doing the G Fuel thing and like the gaming aspect of it. But with her, you really get to capture what she's doing and then also more of like the family behind the scenes type setting.
Mm.
So you kind of see the whole picture. I think it's really cool. I think it's a cool dynamic.
yeah, she tells a lot of stories.
Yeah.
So I'm always like,
Yeah.
oh man, what is she gonna? What's she saying
Yeah.
now? And then
Hold
my
on, let me see that before you post it.
yeah, my sister's doing the same thing. She's talking about like they'll ask like who was the one that got in trouble growing up and stuff like that. She'll be telling stories, and I'm like, oh man. So
That's awesome.
yeah, I think her bio says like I exposed Danny Dorito 23, and then it says like just kidding, kinda or something. So that's what
Just
she's
kidding,
going
kind
for. But
That's awesome, man. That's
yeah,
awesome though, because that means that you've made something of it. You've got people feeling like, well, Danny did it, so why don't I try to do it? That's awesome. Yeah,
yeah.
that's kind of like flattering in a way, I guess.
I feel like so. Congratulations on partner, by the way.
Yeah,
Um,
same to you. I know I messaged you when you got it, but yeah, man, thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah,
yeah, that's a grind, man.
yeah. How many
It's really.
rejections did it take you?
I got it my second time.
Took me 4.
Yeah, Stony Stark is just got rejected for like the seventh time or something.
Yeah,
So
I got it on the 5th try, and I sent in my app, and this time around it was like, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I'm
yeah,
expecting it.
yeah,
So and when I got and it was weird because all the other times that I have applied, took me the first time it took me 6 weeks to get a response. That was back last summer when they were way backed up.
yep,
Took
me
six
too.
weeks, got rejected. Every other time it was about a week or 2 weeks. I heard back within 2 days on this one. And like I got an email from Twitch, and the last time they rejected me, I got an email within 3 days. So I'm like, oh, okay, I got rejected. They emailed me back pretty quickly. I click on it, and all I see is that big congratulations, and I'm like, I'm
Hey,
laying in bed,
at least you
like
got an email. I didn't get an email. I was
you
going.
didn't get an
No,
email?
I honestly do not know when I made partner. I think it was sometime around Christmas, because I I I think I checked it like right after New Year's, and
Yeah.
so I was like waiting for an email, kept checking my inbox, and then I go over to my Twitch thing, and it says like affiliate agreement, and it had like a little like purple thing on it. So I clicked that, and it says agree to partner agreement. I was just like, what? Wait, is this it? And I clicked it, and all of a sudden there's the check mark, and I'm just like, what the hell, man? How long has this been here? Like that would have been nice to know that was there.
That's awesome. That's a lot better story than mine. I was just laying in bed. Like it was midnight. We were laying in bed, getting ready to go to bed. It was the day we just got the puppies. It was Monday last week. So I'm sitting there and my phone had died because I was, out with the puppies, getting them all situated. They got to stay
Mhm.
with my dad until we get the house. And so I come home, plug in my phone, check it, and social media guy, you know what it is. You're always checking all your apps, checking your email. So I'm doing that. Get to my email, I see it, I click on it. I'm literally in my boxers. We're in bed. I jump out of the bed and I throw my phone at the wall. And my and my wife's like, what? And I'm like, I just got partner. They accepted me. And she was like, there's no way. There's no way. I'm like, yeah. I run over, grab my phone, make sure it's not broken.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was wild.
Broken phone. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
been
dude.
wild, man. It's been a grind.
Yeah, you have a whole new respect for people with that check mark once you
Yeah.
realize how hard it really is to get it.
Yeah.
A lot of people
Yeah.
think you
Well,
just need the minimum, but not at all.
no, it's definitely not like that. Like, yeah, like this, you need to have that minimum just to even like have the option to do it.
Hmm.
But that minimum doesn't cut it. You could go in, you could have a consistent 75 a day, every stream, no, never drop below, and you can still be rejected. And it's like I found out because I asked and I got kind of a generic response. When they look into partnering somebody, they really dig deep. They dig into how many people are watching you, and then how many people are actually commenting, engaging, and all these
Yeah,
extra criteria that they don't show you. That I got back in this generic email, and I was like, okay, so
yeah, I would have liked to seen that. But
yeah, so it's kind of like let's work on really engaging with the community even more and get them more involved, and that's kind of what I focused on.
yeah,
So, but, I mean, you're crushing it too, man. Every time I check in on your stream, man, 500 plus watching you or something like that. It's crazy.
yeah. I feel like I've definitely hit like a new floor with that.
Mhm.
I really don't. I don't know if I'm gonna hit like another wave with the Twitch anytime soon. I feel like the next thing will be for my YouTube to like kind
Mhm.
of grow enough to where people start discovering me on there more. Because
Yeah.
right now I just hit 63,000. I had to dye my hair pink for 50,000. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I did. I did. That's
Obviously,
why I see it. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I followed that. And I was like, because I saw the video where you said I'm not dyeing my hair. And
yeah,
then there was like a couple days later, I think I saw a video of you dyeing your
yeah,
hair. I'm like,
yeah, yeah. No, I was like by the end of the month, literally like 2 days later, like 50 something K. So it's like, all right, here we go. So now they're like, what are you gonna do at 100K? And I'm like, I don't know. They said dye your hair rainbow colors. It's like, oh hell no, I'm not doing rainbow. It's just too much going on. I can't do it.
oh man, it
Uh,
would turn out like does your wife like was she a licensed cosmetologist or anything? Or you
she
guys
was going
like
to school for it, so she knows how to do it
okay,
like professionally. But
okay.
my hair is so dark that it
Mhm.
just like colors like this, very bright colors, don't want to hold on very well.
Yeah. Well,
So
I was
it's
gonna
been
say
washing
just
out.
the stripes though, man. Like, because my wife, that's what she does for a living. She owns her own salon. And I asked her one day about those rainbow hair colors, and she's like, it is a super
Yeah,
hard thing to do because the bleed over and all that. And you're putting a color next to yellow
yeah,
or like, leaving something yellow and
yeah.
like, oh,
I don't
it's a
think people
nightmare.
realize like how hard that would. And like not only that, if it's just gonna fade super quick, I'm like, I'm not gonna make my wife do all that just for it to fade in a week. You know?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna throw this out there for you. And let's get some people in the comments to see what they think. I think for 100K, Danny has to go bald and shave his eyebrows.
Shave my eyebrows.
Yeah,
Oh
shave your
no,
eyebrows.
bro.
Yeah, I'll get
That,
it going on TikTok. I'll get it going on TikTok.
oh man. You're gonna call me out on TikTok for it?
Yep. I'm gonna
Oh
say, hey,
man.
Danny was telling me in the podcast, what should he do for 100K? Well, I think he should go bald and shave his eyebrows.
Like
I bet
bald
it
as
works.
in like bick my head or
Yeah,
like
yeah, like
oh
razor to
man.
the head. You're bald with no eyebrows.
That's gonna like people are gonna come and be like, what did you do?
I think you got to grow a mustache before that too. So you got a mustache with no eyebrows and no hair.
Oh man. I'm gonna look like a completely different person.
It would be epic. Do it for the meme.
Bro. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what they say. I like it. It's got 100K by the end of April. That's the deal. Because it's got to be a challenge.
So what? We got a whole month? Oh, it'll happen. It'll
Mm,
happen. I mean, bro, 100K. That's when you get the silver plaque, isn't it?
Yeah.
You got to do something big. You got to shave your hair, your eyebrows. It's
Oh
worth it.
man.
It's worth it.
Okay, well, I gotta figure out what the hell is going on though, because I've been struggling for the last 3 weeks to get monetized. It's giving me a
On
bunch of
YouTube?
errors, yeah, on YouTube. So I'm like, this sucks. Like I'm getting all these views and I'm not getting paid for it.
See, that I don't know because I'm not heavy into YouTube. I actually just got with a guy to start doing YouTube content for me as far as like editing things.
Yeah.
Um, I have a buddy I can reach out to all like after the podcast and whatnot and try to get some information on you. I got a buddy that does YouTube that might have an answer for you. So
Okay.
I can reach out to somebody for you on that.
Yeah, I've tried so many things and still I got another error message this morning.
Do they not have like a support on there that you can like get in
S-
contact with, like a
I've
direct
I've
message type thing?
I've tried to look for email. It looks like you have to be a partner for them to like actually directly talk to you, you know?
Mm,
Because
yeah.
there's so many people on YouTube that just can't handle it. But yeah, like every time I think it's gonna take me to an email, it takes me to some community thing, and it's like
Yeah.
somebody has like a similar thing, but not the exact thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's weird.
it's something to do with AdSense. I'm not getting approved for an AdSense account. I don't know why. So
Mm.
I'll
Do you
I'll
have
figure
like
it out.
your birth date correct and everything on that
Oh
or
yeah,
something?
yeah, everything's correct. It said I had multiple accounts, but I don't have an approved account. So I unlinked both emails from YouTube, created a new email, applied with that one because they said that would help. That did nothing. Got the error even faster this time. So I don't know what it is.
Yeah, that's weird.
But
Yeah, I would definitely
it's
get that straightened out, especially if you got the views coming in, you know.
for real.
That's a
Like
good thing.
I definitely missed out on a chunk of change this month. So it
Yeah,
sucks.
for sure.
But and I just got a full time editor too. So it's like it'd be nice to be able to like just pay him back with whatever we make on YouTube.
Right. Right. That's
That's the
literally kind of
goal.
the setup that I have. That's because like I got a guy who's wanting to get more into this that I think he's capable of doing great things, and that's kind of the way I set it up. Like, look, I'm not really doing anything with my YouTube now. I would love to. I physically do not have the time to sit down and edit a 10-15 minute video though. But I can record bits here and there for you for the videos, and then if we can take this to that level, then we can get you reimbursed for your time and all that, because he's trying to make a name for himself too. So there's that trade off there, and I think we'll be able to do it, man. I mean, I see
Uh oh. Froze. Oh.
into the AdSense problem like you have when I get there. But
All right, you froze, and then like now your audio is all wonky.
yeah, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. Are you?
Can you hear me? See, it just disconnected all of my my USBs.
Oh, so that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, see how my camera disconnected and everything? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I think did you update to the newest like version of Windows, or like that's the bars white and everything at the bottom?
My taskbar is still black.
Okay. The new update, when I updated it, like fixed some stuff, but then like caused other problems with my wavelength. So
Really?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to check into that after this. Yeah, because it hasn't happened for a while, but it happened last night. When was the Windows update? Was it recent?
Like maybe like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago for me.
Yeah, I haven't updated in like a week or so. So
Mm.
could be that. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, weird. What were we talking about?
YouTube and editors.
Oh yeah. So I got there's a editor for that is a part of Team Elevate, which is the organization I'm on, and
Mhm.
he's over in the UK, and so I just for this past month we've been trying things out, and then
Yeah.
based off him like saying, hey, things are opening back up, I'm probably gonna have to go back to work, so I'll either have to do less or we got to work something out. So I was like, all right, let's just do it full time. Like I like what you're doing. He's pumping out enough videos that I'm posting twice a day most days on YouTube. So yeah,
Wow.
it's
That's crazy.
like I said,
And are
it
those
sucks.
videos still catching views?
Yeah, it sucks not. I think I get right now I'm probably averaging about 2K per video
Yeah.
at least. Like a bad video is like 2K now. Like it hits 2K in a couple days. Um,
That's pretty good still though. For I mean, just for
yeah,
like now getting a big push on YouTube. That's
yeah.
pretty
I've
good.
only had one video not hit 1,000 this week, and it's one where like I just set up my Go XLR and I
Mhm.
muted the music at the end of my stream and didn't realize that it was playing during the whole like podcast I did with my
Oh,
brother. So during the whole thing, there's like music, and the comments are like, "Hey, I love the podcast. Just don't play music." And I'm like, "It was an accident. I didn't know." You know, I was like, "It won't happen
yeah,
again."
yeah.
But
Wow, that's rough.
yeah, so I'm still getting used to this setup. It's nice. Everybody compliments the mic and everything, but it was definitely like a little bit of a learning curve. But I mean, it's very similar to the way the wavelength works, as far
Hmm.
as like setting up where your audio goes.
Hmm.
It just doesn't like disconnect on you. You know,
Right.
it's
Yeah,
yeah,
eventually I wanna upgrade to pretty much the same mic setup as you. I got a couple buddies that I stream with that use the same deal, and they got nothing but good reviews on it.
yeah, yeah. This boom arm is awesome because it has a cable built in, so I don't have this wire hanging off. You know,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah,
That's
it's the
awesome.
same
I
thing
got a
that
little
Joe
cheap
Rogan uses.
Amazon. I got a cheap little Amazon guy right here that
That
just gets her done.
is it an InnoGear? That's what I was using. It's like a cheap
I
twenty
think
dollar.
so. It's like
Yeah,
20 bucks. Yeah,
that's like
yeah,
what
yeah, yeah.
everybody gets. Yeah, that's like
Yeah, yeah.
uh,
It works.
it
Does
does.
the
I
job.
mean, I was using it probably for like the last year and a half or so.
I mean,
So
we got partnered with it, right? It had to have done its
yeah,
job somehow.
yeah, yeah. I think I'm gonna give my brother my wavelength because he doesn't. I don't think he plans to use the software. I think he just wants to use it as a mic because he
Right.
was using the snowball, and he finally
Yeah.
just like tossed it. He's like, dude, I might as well just
Yeah.
use my headset mic.
Yeah, that's what I upgraded from, man, was the
So did I.
snowball. My
Yeah.
wife my wife surprised me, because we weren't gonna do Christmas gifts this year, and she surprised me with this in a Logitech Brio, to upgrade the stream. Because I was using a C920, and those are only 30 FPS, so everything on this stream was outputting at 60, but the camera quality just wasn't there, so she surprised me, and I mean, I'm happy with it. The mic's been pretty great, and the camera as well. It's just like I said, every now and then, I'm pretty sure it's because of the Elgato Wave 3. It's just disconnecting everything. It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah. I got the Sony A6400 now, so like that's nice, but it's also
Mhm,
like got its own kind of things that you have to deal with. But I mean, I think it's
mhm,
definitely worth it. That's probably the next thing. I guess the next thing that I want to upgrade is definitely a new PC because my PC is hanging by threads. I'm always
mhm.
worried that I'm gonna wake up and hit the button, it's not gonna turn on. Um,
What graphics card are you running in that thing?
1080 Ti.
1080 Ti?
Yeah.
Really?
Everybody's like, why are you only getting 70 frames in Warzone? I'm like, because I have a 1080 Ti. Leave me alone. You know, like I
Well,
don't.
I'm
So
surprised you're streaming and getting that. Like,
yeah, yeah, because I stream
that's
at
actually
1080p.
impressive.
It's a good card. Like it's definitely starting to show its age now.
Mhm.
But the thing with me is the 3090 is like what 1500 or something like that.
They just got the price just got jacked up again.
God,
The EVGAs are sitting on the shelf at my micro center, like not sitting there, like when they're there. I think they're at like around like 2300 now retail.
Jesus, man. It's
And here's
because
the thing, so I got a 3070. I walked in one day and they had 3090s and 3070s sitting on the shelf. I didn't have the money for a 3090 at the time, and I'm kind of kicking myself in the ass for it. But I
I don't
grabbed
think you
this.
should.
I grabbed this because it's it outperforms my 2080 Super that I had.
Yeah,
And my buddy was building a PC. He was having problems getting a graphics card. Didn't really have the money to throw into a 3070 at the time, which was only $700. $200 less than I paid for the 2080 Super, which blows my mind. Um, and this thing's been great. It was for $700. It does more than I could ever imagine doing with it. Coming
yeah,
from being a console gamer. Plus, I got my little logo on the LCD screen on it and everything. So,
yeah. That's dope. And what I like is that these new 30 series cards they have that same like GPU encoder for streaming,
mhm,
but they're
mhm,
so much better than the 20 series. Like they can
yeah,
actually like do it. It's not like a half-assed version
yeah,
of
yeah.
encoding. Because
No,
a lot of
it's
people are
insane.
like, yeah, a lot of people are like, I have to code it so that, like, somebody told me they had to code their OBS so that their CPU is like helping it with his like 2080, I think. So
Really?
Yeah, because if you want to stream in 1080p, I think it's
Hmm.
too much for that encoder. It's not stable
Yeah.
enough or something. So
Yeah.
I don't know how it works. That's just how he told me that he had to do it. But he was like, yeah, I got this new 3080 and like it does it all on its own. Like my CPU is completely just for gaming now, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, my next upgrade though is when we move into the house, I cannot wait to get fiber internet installed.
oh man.
I'm working with like 9.8 megs up. So you're talking I got half of that dedicated just to the upload bit rate, and then the rest of that is like just for gaming. So it's like turn off the Wi-Fi off your phone. Make sure the smart TV's turned off. Make sure anything that's connected is turned off. So I cannot wait. We signed up. I get 500 up and a gig down. So I'm not gonna
Oh
know what to
man.
do it myself.
500 up.
Yeah, yeah,
Woo!
yep. And I'm running a hardwire all the way to the new stream room. So
Yeah, that's what I'm excited about when we get a house because we have about I think just over a year that we have to wait.
Mhm.
So we're probably gonna do another. We're gonna do another lease here after this one's up in like. I think it's up in like July or August. 'Cause I think
Yeah.
this is a 10th month lease,
Okay.
something like that. No, it would. It's later than that. But anyways, the whole 2-year self-employed tax history thing sucks. But
Mhm.
I mean, it makes sense. I get
Yeah.
why they do it.
Yeah, well, we just ran into that closing on our house. My wife started her salon out on her own. Now that we filed this tax return, it was her second year, but we had to do the whole pre-approval process and getting approved for the loan before the taxes this year. So her income was ineligible. Luckily, I work a 9 to 5 still, so we had my W-2 on record and
Yeah.
everything, so we were still able to go through with the house.
Yeah,
But
it sucks because I have the VA loan. So when I started the pre-approval process, they're like, "Yeah, you're probably gonna get approved for this much." I was like, "That's awesome! I'm gonna get a decent sized house, you know." And then they're like, "Oh, actually,
right.
wait a minute, you're self-employed." And I'm like, "Yeah, no, you can't do it yet." I was like, "Damn."
Will you still have your VA loan though come time?
Oh yeah, it never goes away. Like I mean, the way that they have it set up, you could literally, like, if you get approved for 500,000, you could buy a $300,000 house and then a $200,000 house and rent the $200,000 house out. You know, like you can get two
Yeah.
houses with the same loan. It's crazy.
Oh, that's
So
wild.
yeah, so it'll be nice once we can do it. My wife I'll catch her looking at houses. I'm like, hey, don't start doing that. You still got a long time to go. Don't get any ideas. You're gonna fall in love
Don't
with
get
one
your hopes
house.
up yet. Yeah,
Yeah,
don't get your hopes up yet.
but
Especially right now, man, housing market's crazy. Like if you find something, if you're not ready to go throw your offer in that minute, you're probably not going to get it. Like the interest rates are so low, houses are just flying off the market right now.
yeah, and I think I get a with the VA loan, I get like the guaranteed lowest interest rate possible. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
I'm excited. It'll
Yeah, for sure.
the internet lines here are super old. I've had them come out like 2 or 3 times now, and they're like, yeah, so the last guy put something on your router because he thought that it was having this issue, so he took that off, and so it's a little better now, but still, it'll just randomly drop. Today, it dropped like 3 times
Oh, that
completely.
sucks.
Yeah, I know, and like every time I come back, I'm like, there 100 viewers are gone. I'm just like, damn it, man. You know?
Yeah, well, there was like 2 weeks ago. I was getting ready to start my stream on it was a Friday, and I mentioned to you before we do like the community customs on Warzone on Friday.
Yeah.
And I'm getting ready. I'm literally my mouse is on go live. I go to click it, and then errors pop up all over everything running off
Uh,
the internet. And I'm like, okay, hang on. Let me unplug it and restart the router. I look down, nothing. Wasn't lit up at all. And then I get down, get out of my chair, get down under the desk, and I start smelling something. The router had fried right before I was about to start my stream. So I had to run all the way to our internet provider, get a new router, and then come back and set it up. I was like an hour late to my stream, and I was just like, "Ugh."
how does that happen? You have like a spike or something?
I don't know. Like, so I've always had issues, and you can like it's an ongoing joke on my stream because I call my router my internet box.
Oh
So
yeah.
and it gets hot. It used to get hot. So I literally have right here a little fan
to like
I will
blow
turn,
at it.
yeah, that I will turn on and blow at the router.
Yeah.
And I guess it just finally met its match one day. Too much
Damn,
heat,
dude.
and it just it fried.
Yeah. Have you talked to Stony Stark at all?
I have not. I've popped in a few of his streams, and I see him on TikTok all the time, but I have not.
He cracks me up because like it depends on what time of the night you go in there. Because he's Stony
Yeah,
Stark for a reason.
yeah.
And so you'll go in there and he might be like pissed off at the game, and then you come back and like he's had a couple shots and he's like kind of mellowed out. And he's like, "Hey, what's going on, man? I'm sorry I
It
was
was like
mad earlier." Like,
freaking.
you know, it's like, yeah. And like I had talked to him on the podcast, and he was like he had like computer issues, so he's been looking at getting a new computer built. And so um he was like, "Yeah, when the time comes, let me know." So I think I might reach out to his buddy and have like a custom Danny Dorito PC built, with the
That'd be
logo on it and
sick.
everything. But I'm waiting till the summer because I want the 3080 Ti. Because
Yeah,
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 the 3080 is awesome, but the 30, but then there's the 3090. The 3090, just the amount of performance you get above it is not enough to justify the price, even at the MSRP, in my opinion. So
yeah.
the 3080 Ti is supposed to be like $1,000
Mhm.
MSRP, and it's supposed to be like in between those two cards. So, and I like
Yeah.
the Ti. It sounds good.
Yeah, well, I mean, everything I've heard too, and I'm by no means a computer guru, but everything I've heard is unless you're doing like actual editing and video,
Yeah,
like intense stuff like that, there's really no need for a 3090 as far as the gamer streamer,
yeah.
type person. The 3080 is the way to go for you.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, realistically, I mean, coming from a 1080 Ti, I think any 30 series card's gonna rock your world,
Yeah, for
you know.
real. It's gonna be
So,
nice, but
um,
I'm just waiting for the
the
right
only
time.
thing I've heard negative is just as far as 3060s, coming from a 20 series card, there's no reason if you have like a 2070, 2080 to ever get a 3060, even though, they're super cheap for power,
Yeah,
but the power is not greater than, you know, a like a 2080 or 2070. Now
yeah,
the 2080 Ti I heard is still competitive with like 3070s. So, but
yeah,
then again, $700 for this. And what gets me is like there's 2080s that'll hit the shelf that are still priced higher than 30 series. It's like
yeah. I
why?
could still sell my 1080 Ti for like $600
Yeah,
with as old
yeah,
as it is. So
yeah. My 2080 that I bought the 2080 last year, like a couple months before 30 series came out, and when I pulled it out, I sold it to my buddy, like I was saying, but I could have sold that on like Facebook Marketplace for like $1,100, and
yeah,
that would have made like a $300 profit. It's like
yeah.
what?
My card came out in like 2017, so it's like it's
Yeah,
crazy that it's still competing.
yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely time to upgrade soon though. I'm jealous. I'm tired of people coming in and telling me like, dude, when are you gonna get a better graphics card? I'm like, leave me alone, man.
What do you CPU do you run? You run
I have
a
a
Ryzen.
yeah Ryzen 9 3900X.
Okay.
So it's a pretty good CPU. But then like the 5900X is out now, and it's like that thing is just
Yeah.
another step above. So I'll probably get that when I get the 3080
Yeah.
Ti. So I'm
Yeah.
prepared to drop some money on this PC because I dropped like 2,500 on this one when I built that, and I tell everybody it's the best investment I ever made in my entire life.
How long ago did you build it?
3.5 years ago, almost 4.
Yeah, so I mean, you've already got more than what typical computer life
Yeah,
expectancy is anyway, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So like
The only thing I changed was when I started, I had a 1050 Ti, and that was like, I was playing like CS:GO and stuff like that. Then it was like, oh, I want to play the big boy games, I want to play some Call
yeah,
of Duty and stuff like that. And it's like that 1050 Ti just struggles to like hit 60 FPS, and it's like might as well just play on a console at that point. So
right, right.
I got the
Yeah,
1080
no,
Ti.
that's kind of what we did when we built mine. This was my first actual like custom computer. And we kind of built it with room to expand, but also built it to a point where it's going to get the 4 to 5 years life out of it before
Yeah.
you really have to touch anything. The 3070, me buying the 3070 was kind of honestly just one of those I got a 30 series card moves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everybody's flexing them right now because they're so hard to get. But
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, it's like I wanna get as long as I can out of the stuff I buy. It just
Yeah,
makes the
yeah,
most sense.
yeah, for
But
sure. And had I not been able to make my return on investment by selling my buddy that 2080, no chance I'd have this card right now. I would have just went out and said,
yeah,
"Yeah, I'm gonna spend seven hundred
I got
dollars just to buy this."
ever since I started talking about like yeah, once like May June rolls around, I'm gonna start thinking about it because I think they're supposed to announce the 3080 Ti's next month. That's what the rumors are. Um, People have been hitting me up to like, hey, what are you gonna do with your PC when you get the new one? I was like, oh damn, like like people want my parts. I was like,
Mhm,
okay.
mhm.
I think one of my mods might buy my 1080 Ti, but
Oh, really?
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, and you got to think like, is it for people that aren't trying to do? I mean, well, I mean, look at it this way: you're gaming and streaming off of it still. You know what I mean?
yeah,
People that aren't worried about the frames or playing on on a high frame setup, that stuff don't matter. It's still
yeah.
because right now you couldn't even go get your graphics card off a shelf right now. Not happening. No
Yeah.
chance.
Well,
You know.
yeah, the thing for me is like when I before I was streaming in 1080p, I noticed that once I went from streaming in 910 to 1080, I saw a huge decrease in performance for sure. So that alone, like, a lot of
Mhm.
people aren't streaming in true 1080p, so they don't
Yeah.
notice it as much. I'm sure you notice like the difference now that you're a partner and just people are like, damn, it looks so much clearer, you know?
Yeah, why does it
Yeah.
look so crispy? Yeah,
Yeah.
well, the internet is it's not hot today, and I am partnered.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
It's
it's crazy. It's crazy how you get once you get partnered, you get the actual support as far as like bandwidth and whatnot or bit rate and whatnot. And that's kind of what I'm excited for too with the new internet is I can really crank up the bit rate now and
yeah.
be a
So
okay.
currently, I believe Twitch, no matter what, you're limited to 6,000 up, and I think I have mine set to like 7,000, so that got a little
Mhm,
bit of a buffer.
mhm.
Um, but there's with YouTube creeping up on them, they're working on some stuff. I've heard rumors they're gonna make it so you can stream in 4K as a partner. So imagine if that happens. That's gonna be
I might
crazy.
need that 3090.
Yeah, time to get the 3090. No, but you could actually do that because your internet would actually support it. Like
Yeah.
mine, I would not be able to because you got to think like if 6,000 is what they recommend for 1080p, it's gonna be almost 4 times that.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. Well, I right now my bit rate I'm only running at 4500. Just because anything more than that it's sucking up too much of the the bandwidth and
yeah,
whatnot. I'm uh I'm still struggling, but like I can't wait to be able to actually use the full 6,000 that I'm allotted.
yeah. I don't know though. Like having struggles like that, I feel like it makes you just appreciate things so much more. You know?
It does, man. Like I am just my whole thing with like the streaming and whatnot because I've honestly taken Twitch more serious than TikTok the last couple of months. Because gaming has always been my biggest passion in life.
Uh-huh.
Uh, Next to content creation. Like when I was in high school, we've talked about this before. I dabbled in like making like montages and whatnot. Like I had an original HD PVR back in the day, recording off of my PlayStation 3, just doing stuff like that. And my biggest like just hype around the new house is the stream room. Like it's not gonna like right now I'm in a spare bedroom that is technically our office and then like her makeup stuff's over there. But I'm gonna have an actual office dedicated to streaming. About half the size of this room. I'm gonna be able to get like you got your beautiful wall of sound deadening over there. I'm gonna be able
Yeah.
to set up, for acoustics and really just get a nice backdrop and
Yeah.
that's got me the most excited, and I got a custom desk ordered. I found these local guys to me. They're two brothers. They build everything by hand.
Nice.
So it was only $400, $400, and I got a custom desk on its way, solid wood. Um, and I'm just excited just to set everything up and get just a really nice just like layout in the room for the stream. Get the new internet so I can produce better quality video for everybody. I look at it as like trying to provide that total experience for the end user, like the supporters that are watching us,
Yeah.
and it just gets me excited knowing what I'm gonna be able to do for these guys.
Yeah. No, my wife and I, setting all this up. We were like running into all kinds of problems. Like at first, we figured out. I watched a YouTube video, and the guy was like, "Yeah, you just take these command strips and put them on the back of these panels, and they'll stick right to the wall." But the command strips don't stick to the panels, so then we had to super glue every single strip to each corner of every single one, and there's like 200 of them. So that was a lot of
Oh
work.
no.
Yeah, the TikTok does not justify that. Like you know what I mean? Like you don't see
Yeah,
that
I
work.
watched the one where you like layered the
Yeah,
wall up or whatever. It's like,
yeah,
oh, that seemed easy. No,
yeah,
Danny's got some hours, and then
yeah. No, it took time to set this up, and like this right here is a window. So
yeah,
like this is all
I
loose.
saw that
Yeah,
video where you covered it. Yeah,
yeah. So I can't wait to get a house where like I can, if there's a window, I can just fill it in, and then have some designer come do this, because it'll do for a temporary thing, but like if it's gonna be my long term setup, like
yeah.
I want it done professionally, I think.
Well, I mean, your backdrop, honestly, it looks sick. It looks, in my opinion,
It's
not
come a long
knocking your
way.
previous setup. It looks a lot better than your previous
Yeah, that
setup.
ugly ass shelf is over there now.
We had an idea of my wife. She's in a way like your wife. She's very artistically talented. We had an idea of her almost just taking my actual logo and painting a wall,
Oh
like
yeah,
painting the logo on the wall as the backdrop, like no shelving, nothing, just her paint my logo and then do some lighting at the bottom that lights it up
yeah,
and just calling it a day. And I'm like, that would be sick if you could pull it off. But she's also, hopefully, fingers crossed, about to be pregnant. I don't know if she's going to be up to painting an entire wall like that, but
yeah. By the way, that was really cool. I know I had a lot going on, so I didn't get to interact with you during it all as much as I wanted to, and I felt really bad about that. But that's seeing your community like step up and support you guys on that
yeah,
journey, getting that done. You know, that
yeah.
was
So
awesome, dude.
that was a it was really a group effort from. So how you're with what was your group's name? Elevate is who
Elevate,
you're
yeah.
with. Elevate. So I'm a part of the GFC team, which I don't know if you follow him or not. Bar none from TikTok, as well as like Beer Bong John, Mads Katie, and a bunch of others. And excuse me, I was doing the whole goal trying to raise half of the funding, and the GFC team, my community and all, my fellow gamers communities, they like all rated me one night, and it was like out of nowhere, one stream, we ended up raising like 10 grand towards the IVF thing, which total cost is 15. And then over the course of the next week, like my community and members from the other communities, they all still contributed and hit the goal, and we flew bar none out here to come shave off my beard. That's why it's so short right now.
Hmm.
And just to see like all the people that support me, my community, and then other people's communities, just based on that person that they follow that's friends with me, and how much they like back them and believe in them to just come support us for something that we didn't think we would even be able to do this year because of how expensive it is. And now here we are, we're getting ready to do it this week. It's something, just it's mind-boggling, man. It's one of those things where it's like you don't feel like you have that big of an impact on people, and then when you share your struggles and what you have to go through, and they're like, "No, don't worry, we got your back." It's very humbling. It's something that I never would have ever imagined happening to me in a million years. And I still to this day don't know how to feel or thank those people enough. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah. Anytime something crazy happens, somebody comes in and like drops a bunch of subs or anything like that, I'm always like, dude, I don't know what else to say except it just makes me want to go work my ass off even more, because like to feel worthy of it, because it's crazy the amount of generosity that people have.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, dude, it's beautiful, man. I love to see it. It's
Well, and
awesome.
it's crazy too because like this past week, um, and we've done quite a few mental health awareness streams and charity streams for mental health awareness. That's one of the big things that I preach, because that's something that I can heavily relate to. And I had just started my stream last week, and I had a really good friend of mine, right out of high school. I think it was 2 years out of high school. decided to take his own life. And ever since then, we we did like we do the Out of the Darkness walks, which is a nonprofit organization for mental health and suicide awareness. Um, and his mom messaged me, and they started a scholarship in his memory at my high school, and to help spread mental awareness and mental health awareness. And I got the text on stream, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all, like I started to tear up because it brought back, all the memories and everything I went through. That was my first like really big loss that just like hit me on another level and really opened my eyes to that kind of thing. And I just started talking about the story, and I was telling my community, I was like, hey, next week I want to plan a stream, a fundraiser stream for this scholarship. The scholarship's only $500. Um, so I was like, my goal is to triple that. And I'm sitting here telling them how I want to plan this, and then next thing you know, all these cash donations come in. And we ended up raising like $1,900 in the course of 15 minutes for the scholarship, and funded the scholarship for the next 4 years in memory of him. And it's crazy. It's like just the support and the relatability. Like it's still, I'm opening my eyes to like how much mental health impacts the rest of the world. And I get a lot of DMs, and I'm sure you probably do too, of just viewers and supporters that'll say, "Hey man, like you've really helped me get through some really dark times. Like I appreciate everything you do." And it's comments like that, and messages like that that really push me to keep going, because there's been
Yeah.
times where and you tweeted about it this week, where there's a lot of creators right now that are feeling burnout and just need a break. I've been there multiple times, and it's comments and messages like that that just like, okay, I actually am having some positive impact on the world right now. I can't stop what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. It's crazy the amount of influence and impact you can have on people.
So like what I'm about to say is definitely not as like inspiring as what you just said, but like this morning, man, I changed my schedule, right? And
Mhm.
I knew when I changed my schedule, the viewership was gonna be a little wonky at first.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so like, and the internet thing this morning definitely didn't help. But this morning I was like, do you guys like doing the morning streams? Because they're on different days now. Because I do the morning streams twice instead of 3 times a week now. Like I cut
Mhm.
one of those days, but now I stream 2 hours extra each stream.
Yeah.
Um, and when I said like, what if I just do afternoon every day? Like, would that be easier for people or make more sense? There was a couple people like, yeah, yeah. And then I saw so many people also go, no, don't do that. Like I love like when I'm at work, I can just turn your stream on, have it on in
Mhm.
the background. I'm just like, dude,
Yeah.
I just never think about it, you know?
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. When you see me and you're streaming in the middle of the day commenting, that's because that's literally what I'm doing. I have you playing as that background noise for me, because there's a lot of people that do that, man. Like that they like to hear like that background noise just going while they're working. And that's why like you'll see me come in every now and then. I'll comment a couple questions or a couple comments or something, and then it looks like I'm just lurking from there on. Well, I am, but I got you playing in the background because one, you're an entertaining guy just to listen to, even without the gameplay, and
thanks,
you
man.
help you're helping those people get through their work day. Work's not always fun. The
Yeah,
Danny Doritos here
I
to make it.
I always feel bad. Like usually I'll have something happen like my internet will drop or something like that, and I'm like pissed off. You know, like the stream comes back on after like cutting out for 30 seconds, and I'm just sitting there like all depressed looking, and they're just like, "It's all right, Daddy," like and like I'm all right, I'm gonna go use the restroom. I'll come back, and I'll come back. But all right, guys, we're good to go. Like I just had to step away for a second because it's just so frustrating, especially when it happens when I'm popping off in Warzone, man.
I know, dude. Danny has to step out into the hallway and shotgun a G Fuel
Yeah,
real quick, come back
yeah,
in with the vibes.
yeah. But yeah, no, it's no, that was nice of you to say, man. I would never have known that like you watch that much. Um, yeah, I guess you're over there listening to me tell somebody your mama this and your mama that all the time, huh?
Yeah. This is the best part.
Yeah.
Um, but no, dude, I was sitting here thinking, man, like I found out through this whole content creation thing, there's a lot of real people out there and there's a lot of fake people out there. And And I was literally before we started this, I kept thinking to myself, man, I want to say this to Danny. You met me. We first engaged when I had quite a bit of following, and you were up there. You had a few 100,000, and I just knew, like, man, Danny's gonna pop. Danny's gonna pop. And you never quit. You've stayed humble this entire time, and honestly, like, I know we've all had help along the way, but man, you have worked your ass off to get to where you are, as far as just doing your thing and being consistent. And my hat's off to you, man, because if you ask me, you have done a better job at this social media stuff than I ever have. And it was just awesome for me because I knew you as the smaller creator, Danny Dorito, and to watch you become a level higher than me now, it's like, man, this guy knows what he's doing and he is crushing it. And to see you just be the same Danny and talking to you right now, you're the same Danny I knew a year ago, and now you're here. It's fucking awesome, man. Like, sorry for cussing, but it
No,
is it
you're
is
you're
awesome.
fine, man.
Yeah.
No, man, that really means a lot to me because that's been the hardest thing is like making sure that I don't change because it's so easy to like. I stopped responding to comments on TikTok a lot because it's just so negative on
You
there.
have to. You have to. You have to.
Um,
And plus, when you're at the caliber you're at now, it's not realistic. It's
yeah,
not.
no.
When you have multiple viral videos a week or a month, it's not realistic. What I do is I will read through the comments for the first 20 to 30 minutes after posting, and then I'll wait until the next day, and then I'll skim and scan as much as I can. But when you have a video with thousands of comments and you're trying to post another video the next day, it's impossible. It's impossible.
Yeah,
There's you're gonna find there's gonna be a certain group of people that don't understand that may get upset with you, and then you're gonna see the other group that is understanding and knows you have a lot going on. But if they really want to talk to you and they really want to get that comment known, there's ways, there's ways around that. Where does Danny have a smaller following that would be easier to interact with him outside of TikTok? That's when you'll find people, they do it on my stream all the time. They'll come to my streams. They know that I may only have 100 to 200 viewers at a time, and I'm able to read those comments more one-on-one. So if they really wanted to say something to me, they're going to find a way. They could DM you on Instagram. I check my Instagram DMs every day. Now, some things aren't worth responding to just because it's like, hey, love your TikToks. Like,
hi, Chunky.
that's great. Yeah, hi, Chunky. And like, I appreciate the comments, but it's like at the same time, okay, I don't need to just start a conversation to start a conversation here.
Yeah, I feel bad,
Um,
but
and I do too, man. I do too. But at the same time, is it reasonable for you to say that I'm going to talk to all 1.6 million of my followers on a daily? No.
yeah,
It's
and
it's
like
something that you just have to roll with.
I don't know, I mean I don't like saying it like that, but I don't have that much time, so, to do that stuff. So when I go through and I see DMs and like one of them's like, "Hey, Danny," or like one of them's, "Danny, you really, I just want you
Yeah.
to know that you really helped me get through a rough time." Obviously, I'm gonna respond to the one where the guy like writes this long thing about how I helped them,
Yeah, right,
cope with
right,
stuff.
yeah.
So
When
sorry,
it's got
that's
substance, when the message has substance, that's when
yeah.
it's worth a reply.
I get
Yeah.
emails too now
Yeah,
that are
yeah,
just
you're gonna
like
get that.
blank hi.
Have you gotten the emails where it's like, "Hey, I think I saw you at my work today," and it's like, "Well, why didn't you just say hi to
Oh,
me?" Like,
yeah, yeah, no, it was weird because I went to the zoo and my parents were here last weekend,
Mhm.
and like I think it was people are starting to go out and about here again, and
Yeah,
so like it was packed at the zoo, and there was people like, "Hi, Danny," like all over the place. And I was like, "This is so weird." My dad was like, "You're famous, son," and I was like, "No,
yeah,
I'm not."
yeah. You,
I'm
you
like,
say you know in your mind like I'm not famous, but like
no,
everybody around you was like, "This guy's getting recognized." Like,
it's my dad was like, "How are they like recognizing you though?" And I was like, "I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's the Elevate face mask because that was like the only thing. I didn't have the pink hair yet, so
dude, people, there is a good portion of your following that has studied your videos. No, I'm
yeah,
serious.
yeah, I
Like,
know, I know. It's
people
weird when you
people
put it
will
that
leave
way.
comments. People will leave comments on something that has happened like way off in the background in one of my videos, and it's like, I
Yeah,
didn't even know that was going on. How did you see that? Like,
yeah.
what? Like,
I saw it today because little man brought in the G Fuel sent a care package and it was like one really heavy box and then two smaller boxes. And
Mhm.
so my wife just had him push it in, but for some reason he had like socks on his hands, and you know, he had his like huge socks hanging. I don't think they're even his socks, like hanging off his feet. And so Sammy is over here like chewing at his foot, and I didn't even realize throughout the whole video somebody's like, Sammy really do be trying to eat little man's socks
Yeah.
or something. I was like, dude, I
See,
didn't
like,
even notice that. It's like in the corner of the video
yeah,
at the
you think
bottom.
they're
Yeah.
focused right here? They're
Yeah.
not.
They're all
They're
over the
looking
place.
all
Yeah.
around you for something. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's why I'm always like we'll make a video elsewhere than the room, and I'm like, all right, let's make sure there's nothing that like my, you know, it doesn't have my name and our address like right here in the corner or something, like somebody will
Right.
see it.
Well, and that's the thing too. So like I posted a house update because I've updated everybody along the way of like our IVF journey and building our house. And I showed the house and it has my house numbers on it. It has my 4 numbers on it. I never showed the street address. I am no longer going to be living in Cincinnati, so they don't know what the city is. They don't know the zip code, but it's like people are on there like, "Hey, we got your street address now, blah blah blah." And it's like, first off, I more than welcome you to come knock on my door uninvited. Second off, how are you gonna find out where I live from 4 numbers? Why are you being a creep like that? Like, bro, just
Dude,
relax. Like,
people
what are you
get crazy
doing?
with Google Earth and all kinds of stuff, you know? They're
Yeah,
like, that
yeah.
tree is that tree, and they'll like trace it. Yeah, like,
I noticed this blade of grass laying across this rock
yeah,
on the concrete over there, and
yeah.
I know where you live.
I
It's
know
like,
that boulder. Yeah, there's like a, you know, a rock in the background or something. Yeah.
well, I had somebody come into my stream literally last night and told me that he has over like 200 hours in on Google Earth. 200 hours. I'm like,
To find out
I
where
asked
you.
you, no, not where I live,
Oh,
just like looking around the map, and I'm like, why do you have so much time invested in Google Earth? And I guess there's
yeah.
like a geo hunter game now or something where like you,
GeoGuessr. Yeah.
yeah, geo guesser. He's like, I've been practicing for that, and I'm like, oh, okay. This just seemed a little weird when you just start the conversation with I have over 200
Yeah,
hours
no.
in on Google Earth.
Have you seen somebody play that game? GeoGuessr?
Yeah, I saw a TikTok of this guy, and like he guessed like a bunch of them, like 3 of them in a row, and it was like,
Is it
what?
Sambucha? Was it him?
I don't know. It was a guy and like his girlfriend or something, or his
Okay,
wife.
maybe it wasn't. Because Sambucha, he invited me onto Jeopardy, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
But he does GeoGuessr, and like he'll straight up have himself blindfolded, and somebody through a Discord call describes the place, and he'll get it right.
yeah.
Like, and it's
That's
just
great.
some random place in the U.S. or, you know, he'll
That
get stuff that's like in a whole. He'll be like, oh, that sounds more like South, and I'm like, bro, it's all Asia to me. I don't know, you know, like I don't. I'm not that deep into the geography, but that's like his thing.
yeah,
So it's
that's
impressive.
wild, man.
I would not
Yeah,
do
it
well
is.
outside the U.S.
No, I don't. I wouldn't do well outside of. I don't even know how I'm gonna get around when I move to my new house. Like I know where nothing is. I'm just gonna sit in my backyard the whole time.
I my wife makes fun of me because I'll be like, it's that place is this way, right? And she's like, how do you not know? We've been living here for 3 months now. I'm like, you do all the driving. I'm at home all the time on the computer. You know, you're the one running errands and going to get PO box mail and stuff like that. I was like, I don't know
Yeah.
where we live. So
Let me check my Google Maps, see where I'm at real quick.
somebody's gonna like notice me and try to follow me home and think I'm trying to lose a tail, but I'm really just lost.
Trying to find my way back home. Oh my, that'd be wild, dude.
But yeah,
You ever
no,
been like just following somebody, not really following, but you're driving somewhere and the same car keeps making the same turns as you for like a good distance of time, and you're like, man, these people think that I'm following them. And like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
You ever done that?
yeah, I've
Like
thought that before. I'm like,
I just did it like a week ago. And I was driving and I noticed like this guy, like I guess he thought I was actually following him, and he just like no turn signal, nothing. Like as soon as we got up to like this one intersection, just dipped left
yeah,
real quick.
yeah.
Like, I'm not following you, dude. I'm just trying to get home.
Yeah, you just see somebody like run a red light like the movies. You're like, oh
Yeah.
man, he thought I was chasing him.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
I'm Jason Bourne out here tracking him down.
yeah, yeah. People get paranoid too, super easily.
Oh yeah. I'm
But
one of those guys.
so how often do you get noticed in public a lot? For me, it's like I usually get comments later on like, I saw you at Walmart yesterday. You know?
Yeah, so like when I was hot and I had a lot of viral videos, I was honestly we typically don't go out in public too much just because my wife does have an autoimmune disease.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean we go out to dinner and stuff like that, but we get it noticed occasionally now. I think the last big time we got noticed was on Black Friday. We went out to the mall and we got stopped about 7 times in the mall. And same as you, it's like, how do you notice me? I have
Yeah.
a mask on, I had a hoodie on, and they stopped us. Like, and it was like I tried to do a casual walk by, like I was walking, and they'd be like, "Chunky hustle," and I just kind of like throw them like the hang loose down low, like "Hey,"
Yeah.
and like they would turn around and come sprinting to me to get a picture or something. And it's like, I'm not famous, guys. What do you want a picture for? It's like it's weird. You're getting a picture with a random fat guy in a mall. And the worst part was we were sitting there outside of what's the candle place that are in all the malls? It was some candle place.
Yankee
And
Candle or something like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And we're sitting outside this, and you just hear a 16-year-old kid just go, the whole mall stops and look, and I'm just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, what do I do?
Yeah.
And that was the weirdest. That was my last big time getting noticed, and that was like kind of like,
I've been
uh,
I've been wearing a beanie when I go out because like I gotta hide the pink hair. It's way too like we went to a Mexican restaurant this weekend and like I was getting looks just because of my hair, so I'm like it stands out too much. I gotta cover it.
yeah. Sitting there just trying to eat his chips and queso with a hoodie
Yeah.
on. Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
It's kind
But
of
hey, you're a man
I
of your
mean,
word. You're a man of your word.
yeah, I did it. I just surprised how quickly it faded. Because it
Yeah.
says permanent dye, so it's like, all right, so it's not supposed to fade, but no, it's like turning orange.
Yeah, no, those I forget what they call them. The cosmetologists call them a special color, but those things they never last long at
Yeah.
all. My wife had a client that used to get the bright purple, and it was like an every 2-week thing to come get it like touched
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, I think certain colors fade faster than others too. Cause like it's really turning blonde because it was my wife put toner in it. Because
Yeah,
when she bleached it, it turned blonde, and then she put toner in it, and then I
yeah,
looked like XQC with like white hair.
yeah,
Which people were
yeah.
saying like, cause they were like, you should have kept it at that, and I'm like, I agree. I didn't want to do it pink, like pink is crazy,
Keep it
but
keep it icy white. You change your name to Danny Phantom.
oh man, yeah. There's my, if Dorito ever decides to come after me, I can just change it to that. Yeah,
Danny Phantom. There you go.
yeah. But so you said you've been focusing more on the Twitch. Is that like what kind of goals you got for this year still? Because like every time I make a goal, I'm like I expect it to take months, and then I've just been hitting milestones a lot. So it's kind of like I've been wondering lately, like what do I want to do this year? You
So let
know?
me ask you if you had this problem. I have grinded for my 1 year's coming up, by the way. I don't know. I'll get with you after, outside of this. I might try to do like a 24-hour celebration stream. Maybe get if you got time, get you in for a game or two or on something.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, but for this last 10 months, we've been doing this partner grind. And well, at first it was just a building the community type thing, building a foundation. Then it turned into okay, this is working for me. Let's make this partner push.
Yeah.
um Now the partner push is over, and that was my huge milestone. Now I'm just kind of sitting here like, what's next? What is my next thing? Like, I feel like I have not peaked, but I have like now reached a certain level to where it's like, well, there's no more like physical goals to hit. What do I do now? So right now, my main focus is obviously, and this is still all related to Twitch. I have the second TikTok account. My main account was grown and based off of like the whole comedy and food thing. So I have the second account now that's up to about 30,000 followers, just Chunky Hustle Gaming. So my
Yeah.
goals for the rest of this year, I want to try to get that up to 200,000 followers by the end of the year. which I think is pretty reasonable just because I can have some transfer over from the other account that are, the gamers and whatnot.
Yeah.
Um, so I want to build that. And then my goal is to hopefully get to 50,000 followers on Twitch by the end of the year. And then outside of that, I want to expand and I want to take the gaming content into YouTube. And really just work on just building the community and building the numbers up. I think my next as far as like viewer number goal, I would like to get to like a consistent 200 viewer average as my next goal. Here recently I've been around the 120 to 140 average. And as we know, like moving up just that 60 followers, it consistently can be quite a grind.
Yeah.
So I think that's really my main goal for the end of this year is to just work on building the community and producing more gaming content to help build that community.
Yeah.
Because really, I've done the whole partner grind without pushing an extreme amount of gaming content. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see what happens when I do that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think the 50K on Twitch is definitely doable, man. Because it seems like the more you grow on there, the more you see like a transfer rate. Like today, I streamed for 6 hours and I had 2,000 people follow. So
Really,
yeah, and
that's
there
a really
was
good
no
thing right
follow
there.
bots today because I've been getting follow bots like every other stream. It's
Don't you
pissing me
hate
off.
that?
Yeah, I think like somewhere around like 3 or 4,000 of my followers right now are not even real. So and I hit people are
So
like you hit 140K and I'm like kinda, you know.
So I actually got not reamed, but kind of called out by I think your moderator, Stungies, is it?
Uh huh.
Seems like a super nice person. Reached out to me for the whole birthday thing. But when you rated me the first time before I got partnered, like
Follower
the
only
week or
mode
two,
was it that?
I was in follower only
My
mode.
community hates that. It's not just
They hate,
Stungies.
it's everybody. It's
Yeah.
everybody. Like everybody hates that because they want to be able to type like raid, 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 Danny, raid.
Yeah.
And I get that. But I had like been follow botted like a month ago. And I
Yeah.
switched it to follower only mode. And I because they were like doing comment bots too.
Yeah.
And I just completely forgot about it. Like, you're streaming, you do that as a quick fix, then you stream for 3 more hours, and then you just forget that it's even on. And Stungy's told me like in the comments, he's like, "Hey, I'm out of here. Maybe look into the follower only mode. That's kind of turning a lot of people off." And I was like, and then when he said that, I was like, "Oh snap! I do have follower
Yeah.
only mode on." And you had rated me with like 300 people, so I was like, "Man, I feel
Yeah.
so bad. All those people couldn't say anything for like 10 minutes, and they had to follow me.
Yeah. People
Oh
see that and they're just like, all
no,
right, I'm out. Like they just don't even want to
yeah."
stick around.
And it's
Because
not like a thing of trying to gain followers for
yeah.
me. It was just a pure like I
I
forgot.
think that's what people think. That's the thing is like people don't understand that now people usually use that as a tool. Like if something's happening, like I saw
Mhm.
during the whole, I don't know if you paid attention to that. There was that Twitch Dorito Bowl Warzone tournament, and there was like a bunch of people that got accused of cheating. Like Jordy 2D and Sally and all them were involved with it. Like Lucci.
They got accused of cheating?
They didn't They didn't get accused of cheating, but they got killed by somebody, and it was suspect. And so then like everybody was just calling out everybody, and like there was one guy who got accused big time, and he literally went from like averaging like 30 viewers to like 3,000 because everybody
Really?
was like convinced that like either he wasn't cheating or was, which
Mhm.
it seems like everybody agreed he wasn't towards the end.
Yeah.
They're like it was a false accusation. He's just really good with the controller. But
Yeah.
because there's all kinds of paddles and stuff you could put on now, like it's pretty
Yeah.
crazy. But can't remember. Oh, but anyways, I went to check him out and he had follow early mode. He had it set where you had to wait like an hour to say something. So like people definitely use it as a tool to like deter people from coming in and just pooping on you because they will. So
Yeah.
I think like I had one time where I had a bunch of bots come in and start saying stuff. So we put it in
Mhm.
follower only, and then like my mods deleted them, and then like probably like 10, 15 minutes later we have it back out of it. But
Mhm.
I think a lot of people still get that like bad taste where they think you're just trying to force them to follow.
Yeah.
But I mean the whole follow bot thing, just so you know, I've done a lot of research into that. I was using the tool to remove followers.
Mhm.
But it's gotten to the point like the bigger you get, the more it's gonna happen. So like
Mhm.
Twitch just removes them in waves. Especially once you get that
Okay.
check mark, they expect it. So
Yeah.
I would not even worry about it.
Just kind of let it ride and Twitch will take care of it on the back end for
Yeah,
us.
you'll notice like one day all of a sudden, oh, I just lost 600 followers, and it's like, oh well, no, it's
Yeah.
just bots. Like it doesn't.
Yeah.
You're not gonna notice anything except that number. So
Yeah, no, but and Stungies, if you see this video, I do apologize and thank you for the heads up. I did correct that. But that's
so
another thing too. Like you said, there are people that use that as a tool to gain
yeah,
followers. And I mean, I think it's kind of a cheap way to go
I
about
don't
it.
think it.
But
Yeah,
I totally agree from the viewer standpoint on, as far as like getting rated by you, that was a total just a my bad moment right there. Because obviously I didn't do that to gain the 26,000 followers that I do have, you know what I mean? Like, it was just a pure just accident. It was my bad.
yeah, yeah. I remember that, and I was like, oh, like as soon as you said that, I was like, oh, I know what he's saying. I remember that people were like, yo, don't rate somebody with follower only mode. I was like, I didn't know. Like he's a good dude. I'm sure there's like a reason for it, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I had been follow botted, and I saw a TikTok
they
about it too
want
this
you to
week.
do that, man. They want you to turn follower only on, or they want you to go into slow mode or something to try and, or turn your
Mhm.
notifications off. They're trying to mess with you that way. So you just ignore it.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was the same person doing it to me for like the longest
yeah.
time, and then they finally gave up. And now that they're gonna see this and start doing it again, but haters gonna hate.
Haters gonna hate. If you are watching this video, I am not Chunky Hustle. My name is Dave.
The hell is that supposed to do? They can see your name.
I don't no 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 no.
Yeah,
Oh man.
but now, dude, my goal this year is a weird one, man. It's a different one. Um, I don't know how much I talked to you about it last time, because I think last time we talked, I was kind of settling in on where I was gonna move to, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So like right after I don't know if this had already happened when we talked last time, but literally right after I had like pretty much settled in on Albuquerque, so, like I kind of sometimes I think maybe it was a sign or something. I don't know, man. But
Mhm,
my biggest thing that I worried about leaving LA was that I always wanted to do something with the film and TV industry, you know?
mhm.
Like that's always been something I've wanted to do.
Yeah.
Um and moving to Albuquerque was like, well, they do have an industry there. It's nowhere near as big as LA, but
Mhm.
like right after I had settled in, all right, we're moving to Albuquerque, they announced that like Netflix invested like $1 billion into the studios here. And they're talking about it being like the next Hollywood within a decade.
Bro, if that's not like the stars aligning right there, you know what I mean? Like,
I
I
mean, we'll
don't know,
see.
like,
We'll see what happens because they say things like that, and then a decade passes, and it's like it never happened. But
but
um,
look, I'm a firm believer you gotta speak things into existence. And I told you way back when we did our first podcast together, because I think this is my third time being on your show, that just keep grinding and you're gonna get there. What happened, Danny? You freaking got there. Just keep speaking it into existence. It'll happen.
yeah,
It'll happen.
so I before I was gonna start as like a production assistant and try to work my way up on the creative side,
Mhm.
But now I've decided like I'd rather like I'm comfortable on camera and doing
Yeah,
skits and stuff like that. I think I do want to try doing like the acting side of it. So we'll
yeah.
see. But the joke is that I'm gonna get eaten by a Demogorgon in the next season of Stranger Things. 'Cause we're supposed to film it out here, but
Dude, if you
I
can get in on that set, tell them I'm looking for a job. I'm willing to be the fat guy that dies first.
Stony Stark was like, dude, you don't need to say anything. Like, you just got to convince them to let you be in the background eating Doritos. Like, that's all you need. And I'm like, that's
The
true.
OG bag of Doritos, the like
Yeah, the 80s.
1980s or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, that'd be awesome.
so, but yeah, there's a guy that I talked to. He's also a streamer. And he works on sets out in LA. And so he's like, dude, you gotta like, talk to some talent agents. So like, there's a
Mhm.
talent agency that he gave me the information for. So, but the thing is
Yeah.
like, Danny Dorito's obviously not my real name. My last name is not Dorito. So,
Right.
uh, I'm like, I don't want my picture on a website, like, looking for acting gigs, So I'm like, it's
Right.
gonna be like, hey, so I have this many like people that are like, watching my stuff. Like, is there any way I can get like look for cameos or something? Like, I don't know how it works, but
Yeah.
we'll see. That's my goal this year, is to start getting into that stuff if I can.
Well, full disclosure, my legal name is not Chunky Hustle. So
I thought it was, but
yeah, well, my it's kind of been a thing where people have been finding out my real name and they've kind of been throwing it out there, and I've just been deleting the comments and stuff. It's not a thing that I don't want people to know my actual name. It's a thing of like I said earlier, I do work a 9 to 5, so I try to keep my
yeah,
daytime job separate from all of this. You know what I mean? I try to draw
yeah,
that line right there. And part of that is putting on the whole, and it's not really a persona like what you see with me on camera and stuff. That's just actually me. It's just the whole identity is a separate thing. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I mean, I
So,
know that obviously someday, like it's inevitable, it's gonna come out.
mhm.
That's just how it is with this
Yeah, it
industry.
is.
But
Especially if, like you're saying, if you want to take it to that level of becoming like an actor or something, it's gonna
yeah,
have to at that point. You know what
yeah,
I
I know
mean?
that. I want to put it off as long as I can, and like everybody
Mhm,
wants to know Little Man's name, and I'm like,
mhm.
I'm putting that off until he can at least say like stranger danger, like he understands that concept. So
Right. Well, yeah, and he's a little kid,
yeah,
man, and there's a and it's weird because there's some strange people on the internet that just have no sense of boundaries. Like there's certain lines and information that you don't need to cross and you don't need to know. Like I
yeah.
had somebody ask me like, "Oh, where's Mrs. Hustle's salon at?" And it's like you
Don't worry
don't
about
need
it.
to
Yeah,
know that. Like you don't need to know where my wife works. You don't need to know
yeah,
anything about her, you know. Just what I tell you is what you get. And
yeah.
it's
It's
people and it's the same thing with, like, the house. People are like, "Oh, we know where your address is now." It's like, "No, you know 4 numbers." That's what you know,
yeah. No, I
you
mean,
know?
I'm sure I talked about it before. I had way back when, the VOD was deleted right away and everything. But I had somebody asking, like, how do you find these? Now they could just use code Danny D, obviously, but they're like, where do I get these discount codes for G Fuel? And I was like, oh, I just use Honey. What's Honey? And so like, I clicked the thing and it logged me in, and I'm like I'm
Oh.
explaining, and up in the corner there's my mailing address and everything. So for like
Oh,
30
yeah,
seconds, obviously we're not there anymore and everything. So it's like, I don't even care anymore.
yeah.
But right away, the way that I noticed that it was there was the auto mod started going crazy, and there was somebody spamming, I got your address, coming to rape your girlfriend. Like a bunch of
Wow,
times. So like I
wow.
look over
See,
and I'm like,
honestly, why do
oh
people
dude.
go to that level? Like, where do you have to be messed up in the head to even
Somebody
say anything
never
about
saw him
it?
before. They were obviously like just lurking and saw an
Mhm,
opportunity to like,
mhm,
say something messed up. So
yeah. Well,
but
and I'm not gonna go into details or anything, but I did respond to comments, a comment on the whole address thing, and I pretty much said like, I more like I told you, I more than welcome you to come knock on my door unannounced or uninvited. And if you think I'm not fully capable of protecting what's mine
mhm.
and those that I love, then you're crazy anyway.
Yeah, no,
So,
my
and
my
that's what I left it at. You know what I mean? Like,
my my chat was like, "What's going on?" Because I just stopped everything and I was like, "Look, man, you know who you are. If you come over here, I'm shooting your dick off." I was like, and everybody's just like, "Whoa, Danny, what happened? Who are you talking to?"
what, Danny? What happened?
And I'm just like, "Don't worry about it."
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I left it at, man. Like if you
Yeah.
don't think I'm fully capable of protecting those that I love and what's mine, then you're a fool. So
Now I always remind
eh,
people, I'm like, the last thing I did in the military was qualify for sniper school. So,
I'll see you coming, buddy.
yeah, yeah, no,
Yeah, man.
but
It's people are crazy, man, and like it's just like they cross boundaries that just it's like why would you even think to say something like that? Like for you, like with your girlfriend at the time, your wife now, it's like why would you even say something like what how are you
yeah,
raised to think that it's okay to say something like that? It doesn't make
yeah.
sense to me.
And I sometimes I explain it to my viewers because one person will come in and say something. They have to put it in like Morse code or something to get it to go through the auto mod, but they get something through, and people just start getting, they get defensive. They're like, "Bro, what is your problem?" Like this and that. Like
Yeah,
they start bringing that type of energy towards them, and I'm just like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, look. Like he's banned. He could still hear this, so I want to say this. Like I don't know what's going on, man. You must not be in a good headspace, whatever.
right,
But this ain't gonna help nothing. Like get some help
right.
or something." because
No, yeah, yeah,
you
definitely,
wouldn't say that to
definitely.
somebody in public.
And I mean, the world nowadays, man, it's just social media. Like, it's people are crazy. People are crazy. I think a lot of people, especially over this past year, have lost their marbles. Um,
It's been a rough
and
year. It's been a rough year.
it has, and I think, I hope, I pray we're on the verge of it all being over, with the vaccines coming out and everything, and hopefully the pandemic's coming to an end. You see a lot of states starting to open back up. I know here in Ohio, we're no longer um on a curfew anymore. We were everything had to shut down by like 11. We don't have that anymore. We still have the mask mandate and all that, but I see the world slowly opening back up, and I just I pray that everything goes back to normal, and that everybody else can kind of adapt back to a normal life, because this past year there's a lot of people in the world that it's changed forever. You know what I mean? It's definitely been a wild one. So
Yeah. Yeah, no, I just want the movies to open back up so I could take little man to go see
our movie
Godzilla vs
theaters
King
are
Kong.
open. Our movie
I
theaters
don't know
are open.
why, but here they aren't open yet.
I think it's like limited seating. It's like, every other seat and whatnot. But I
Yeah.
think I'm pretty sure our movie theaters are open, because I've seen they've been advertising, and it's weird to see them open too, because nothing's really come out in the past year. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because nobody could film. A lot of things got put on hold, so they were showing a lot of like reruns of like very like older movies, early 2000s movies and whatnot, just trying to bring some business in to stay afloat and give everybody that sense of normalcy of like getting out with your family and
Yeah.
going to the movies. So I mean, and that's what's going to suck too. Even after everything opens back up, things like the movie theaters, there's nothing that's really lined up ready to be released. You know what I mean? Nobody's been able to film in person really like that. So
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that got pushed back. Um like the James Bond movie, Black Widow,
mhm. Black Widow's been pushed back several times now, hasn't it?
think a whole, yeah, I was supposed to, like I showed my dad because I told my dad we watched. So my parents came here, and we were like, we gotta watch, the Snyder cut of Justice League, and so that
Mhm.
got us into like all the superhero talk. And I was like, yeah, that Black Widow movie's supposed to come out. He's like, I thought that came out a long time ago. And we watched the trailer, and it said like May 2020. I'm like, yeah, they pushed it
Yeah,
back a whole year. It's
yeah,
crazy. I've
yeah,
I've been waiting for the 007 movie because that's supposed to be the last time Daniel Craig's playing him. So I'm like, you better do
yeah.
it. I'm sure he's gonna go out with a bang. So,
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
um, but yeah, no, there's that's probably the besides jujitsu and like going to the gym, like because I went to the gym
Mhm,
for like a week when they opened back up for a little bit in like the LA area, and I got
mhm.
strep throat, viral strep throat.
Wow.
So I had like a scare where I was like convinced I had COVID. I was like, stay away, to like my wife and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's the only
Well, I
time I've
mean,
taken a break, because I
yeah,
just literally couldn't
and
do
it's
anything.
things like that where like you try to go, they tell you it's safe, they open things up, and you try to go do that thing, and you can't, because then like you said, it's awesome that it wasn't COVID, but it still shows you that had
Yeah,
COVID been in the air or around you in that environment, it could have been COVID.
yeah,
So it's definitely, I think even after the mask mandates lifted here, I think we're going to see a lot of people that still wear masks for possibly years to come, and it's just something that's going to be, it's going to impact our lives for probably the rest of our lives, because they're saying this thing could be like a seasonal thing now, like
yeah,
yearly shots and whatnot.
yeah. It's gonna be like the flu. Everybody gets the flu shot, but it doesn't really do anything, So
Right. Well, and our thing is like this vaccine that's out now, we're actually not able to get it.
I was gonna ask about that.
Yeah, so my wife was actually, she was like the tier 1 because the autoimmune disease, she was able to get it day 1. But our thing is with the doing the IVF
Yeah,
and whatnot, and her getting pregnant, nobody knows what the side effects of this vaccine are right now. So there's no
yeah,
telling what it could do, as far as impact on the baby.
yeah,
So neither one of us are willing to get that. And then at the same time, with her having the MS and all that, she's already had to stop that MS medication, which is a big risk for her. So now everything that's, helping keep her immune system suppressed so she doesn't have any issues with that, she's off of that. And now we're worrying about COVID on top of this and her not being able to do the vaccine because of the pregnancy.
yeah,
We're kind of like playing everything really safe, staying home as much as we can, doing the whole mask thing. washing our hands with, before and after everything we do out in public, hand sanitizers and all that.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. It like I said, it's going to impact us for a while still, I think. But
Yeah, thankfully, this New Mexico has been a pretty low risk state throughout the whole thing. It seems like they took things pretty
mhm,
seriously. I mean, the fact that things are just barely now like you can just now go to a restaurant and actually sit down. You know,
wow, we've
so
been able to
yeah,
do that for a
yeah,
while.
they're taking it pretty seriously here.
Yeah.
Because my parents are back in Arizona, like yeah, you can go to the movies now and stuff. I'm like, man, I wish this and that, but
Hmm.
I think it's definitely a good thing. That they've been cautious.
Yeah.
Obviously it helps. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. For sure.
the vaccine thing has definitely been something me and my wife have talked about. And it's like we're kind of on the fence. Like it would be nice if I could just go get the vaccine and go to jujitsu and all that stuff that
Right.
because it's definitely not. I definitely want to go roll. Don't want to go roll around with a bunch of sweaty guys. You know,
Right.
it's definitely not a good idea right
Well,
now.
well,
So
my thing too, and I don't claim to be, a CDC expert or, any type of scientist, but from what I've like read and stuff, for it to be a vaccine, typically vaccines have to go through like 5 years of testing before they're
yeah,
actually like enacted. Um,
yeah, that's another
and
thing.
and this is something that, and granted, the world needs this, so obviously it had to be expedited. Um, it just feels like it could be rushed and we don't know what the long-term effects are, and that makes me nervous. I mean, I besides being overweight, I'm generally pretty healthy. I work out 4 times a week and all that. But my wife, with her having the autoimmune disorder, she's already got compromised immune system. What is the long-term effect of that? That's the thing that
Yeah,
gets me nervous. And we'll see how it goes in the next year or so to come. But it's scary, man. It's scary because you want to get it because it sounds like the right thing, but at the same time, it's like what are the effects that it could have on me? Nobody knows because it's only undergone several months of testing rather than
yeah.
several years.
Well, like my wife pays a lot of attention because little man's getting to the point where he'll be able to start like preschool,
Hmm.
and she's like, depending on the state, they might make you get it to go to school, like to have like a wristband or whatever, something.
Hmm.
And for her, it's like not knowing whether this could lead to something down the road.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't
Well,
want to.
especially somebody young like him who his body still has to go through all the
Yeah,
developmental stuff. You know what I mean? What effects does it have on that kind of thing?
yeah. I mean,
Um,
my wife is also concerned because obviously, we want to have her and I want to have a kid someday, and it's what does this have?
Yeah, well,
What
you
kind of
would be in
effect
the
does it
same
have?
boat as me, right? What will
Yeah,
it have long term on like our reproductive stuff and whatnot? Yeah,
I've
man, it's
seen I Am
definitely a lot
Legend, man. I know vaccines can go south.
to consider. Look, I've played enough Call of Duty and seen enough movies. I'm prepared.
Yeah, yeah. I know the. I'll let like it sounds messed up saying like that, but it's like I'll let some other people be the guinea pig for that.
Yeah, I
But
mean, do I think it's a good thing? Yeah. Do I want it to be a good thing? Yeah. Am I ready to commit to it myself? No. Until then, I'll keep doing the mask thing and all that.
yeah,
Till we know more. But like my grandparents, both of my grandparents have had both doses.
mhm.
They haven't had any effects. No, like I know a lot of people say like after the second one they get like pretty severe headaches and whatnot.
Yeah. I've heard
My
headaches and
grandparents,
like really bad nausea or something has been the
yeah,
side
and
effect.
I
But
don't think my grandparents have had any of that. I think they just took it like a champ and got through it.
the other thing is like I mean, they're talking. Oh, we're approving a fourth one or something. It's like how many vaccines are there? Like
Yeah,
now you're
yeah,
just also playing Russian roulette with the vaccine you use. Maybe all of a
right.
sudden they're gonna announce, hey, you got
Well, when
this
they first
one.
came out, wasn't there only two? There was like two
Yeah,
manufacturers or whatnot.
I think there was two, and then I think because what they're saying they want to have. I think Biden said that he's hoping by July everybody will be able to have it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I know here in Ohio, I think it's opened up to 16 and above now or something like that. So we're
really,
like pretty far through the list right now. Yeah.
yeah. And then like the other thing is, you hear one thing in the news and it scares you. Like
Hmm.
my wife, I brought it up to her because she was gonna take little man to the park or something, and I was like, I
Hmm.
don't know. I just saw this thing they were saying that like there's a new strain that might be affecting kids now or something. Like little
Yeah.
kids might be at higher risk, and so like we just get paranoid. Um, and then the long COVID thing. I'm like, when the hell did this start happening? There's people who
Yeah.
like have like some kind of lung syndrome now. Like they just have trouble breathing from now on.
Yeah.
It's like it gave them asthma.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and they're saying there's all these different strains and whatnot. It's like, well, this is COVID-19. You know, this is when this all came out. You said this was COVID-19. So now you're saying there's new strains and stuff. Obviously, 19 is not number one. There has been other, coronaviruses before this. So what are we on now? Are we still talking COVID-19, or is there like a new animal out there that
I don't know, man.
it's a lot to keep up with.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been. I think I was in San Francisco when everything started, and we went on lockdown in like February. So it's been over a year now going through all this, and
Yeah.
I look at it and like I still see the same kind of signs of like uneasiness about the future, you know? So like I could see this all of a sudden, you know, in the fall, another strain of it or something, and everybody gets scared again. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, just gotta play it safe and do what you can to stay clean and safe.
Yeah, it's
Mask
and
whatnot.
people have I've seen more people talking about how this whole thing has affected them, and I'm like, when you think about it, I don't know how you feel about it, but for me, obviously, having gotten out of the military and right away gone full time with all this stuff, like I never really did anything else. Like it's been a blessing and a curse at the same time, you know, because like it obviously all kinds of trouble with it, but I wouldn't be here doing
I
this. I
would
don't
agree.
think.
I would agree. Blessing and a curse because everything is just all the impact it's had on everybody. Obviously, we've encountered the same things. With her being a hairstylist, she was shut down for a while there at the beginning of it, but luckily she was able to get on unemployment, which got us through that. I started working from home for my day job. We actually decided because we were already working remote from everybody else. Because we're based out of Cincinnati, where everything else that like the company we do work for is in Columbus, like 2 hours away. So they said, well, if it's just you three guys and you're performing at the same level as you would be in the office right now, why are we paying thousands of dollars a month to have an office when you guys can work remote? So we've been working remote from the beginning of this thing. We got rid of our office. We're going to stay remote for the duration of our careers, and that has allowed me to be flexible with my schedule as far as my day job. I can start earlier, in the day earlier, and that gives me
Yeah,
more time for the content creation side of things. Like you're saying, you were able to jump into this full time. Well, by me working from home, I'm now able to do this as pretty much a second full time job. Because my wife typically works like 10 to like 9, so that the whole day, by the time I get off at 3 4, I have the rest of the night to get content done, to stream and whatnot.
yeah,
And it's really, I think without the coronavirus this past year, I don't think I would have blown up like I did on TikTok. I don't think I would have blown up like I did on Twitch. I don't think I would be in a position to start a family right now. Like you said, it's been a kind of a blessing in disguise, but also a negative impact at the same time.
yeah. Sorry, little man's upset about something. I don't know if you can hear him.
No, it's that new
uh,
mic, man. You can't hear
yeah,
nothing.
I got the noise
Crispy
gate and
clean
everything.
voice. That's awesome.
He's like, I think my wife was like, shh, Dad's working, and he's like, I'm sorry.
I think the G Fuel videos you make with him are my favorite.
Did you? I just posted one today where like we were outside and my wife came out and was like, try this flavor because I got like a bunch of new flavors yesterday, and I had thrown a hula hoop at him, and he like grabbed it and was like not sure what to do with it, and like he tried to chase me when like I ran because like she's like, try this flavor, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go around and do that, and he like slipped and fell. And then like so after that he was fine, but like I was like, I feel like we gotta like stop and like make sure they know he's okay, or else they're gonna be like, oh, you just run off and he's hurt, because there's always one person.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm okay. That was like the little shot that we had. And then I made the G Fuel, but no, it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
He was like, boom, and then he's just like, oh.
Yeah, man, you got quite the G Fuel collection back there now, brother.
Yeah, I mean,
wall of G Fuel.
people are like, how much have you spent on G Fuel? And I'm like, Not as much as you think, but I don't think it really matters anymore because now I got the code. They send it to me for
Mhm.
free. Like it definitely feels like
Yeah,
the
it's part
investment
of
paid
being.
off.
Yeah, definitely part of being partnered up with them. Yeah, that's definitely a
But
big perk.
and now they're
I gotta
talking
try
about
it
a
out.
shaker.
Really,
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
really. Might have to cop me one of those then.
Yeah, I'll send
I
you
gotta,
one,
I gotta, I want to try that Wampa fruit, man. That's
dude.
I
It's
need to order that. I need to, because I'm a huge Crash fan. Like that's the first game I ever played growing up was original Crash Bandicoot on Saturdays. That and Spyro on my mom's PlayStation. Like I gotta
so
try that. I gotta know what the Wampa fruit tastes like.
so there's a couple G Fuel content creators that I've on YouTube that I've interacted with a lot, and I
Mhm.
think our whole consensus, the three of us, have always been like Wampa fruit's like the best flavor. And like
Yeah,
looking at, because like I could see like what people buy, like not who
yeah,
buys it, but I could see the number, and I'm like
yeah.
solely convinced that like the three of us have totally decimated their stock of Wampa fruit. So like I think
Oh
it's out of
no!
stock right now.
Oh
But
no! Yeah, I'm
uh
gonna have to. I'm gonna have to when it stocks back up though. I'm gonna have to get it. I gotta try it. Like the first video I ever saw you post with it, I was sitting there thinking, I was like, what does the Wampa fruit actually taste like? Like, what is the
yeah,
flavor? I gotta know. I gotta know
yeah,
now. Like the inner child in me from back in the day is like, I have to have that.
yeah. No, it's good. Apple mango, and then like it's funny because like the cans are starting to show up in places all
Mhm.
over the
They
country.
have those at my micro center, and I think in Speedway by me, maybe Speedway.
Yeah,
I know I've seen the white and light blue one right there. I know
yeah.
I've
Blue
seen that
ice,
one.
that one's
Yeah,
good.
I've seen that one. Yeah,
Yeah, the cans are all pretty much. I'd say they're all good.
yeah.
The only G Fuel flavor that I feel like I've really been let down by, like truly, is the Sonic
Mhm.
peach rings.
Really?
Yeah, because I mean, you think it's gonna taste like those candy peach rings, and it kind of
Mhm.
just tastes like straight peach juice. And so
Uh,
I was not impressed. But that's the only flavor that I feel like is overhyped.
yeah.
But they're killing it. Every flavor they've released so far this year is a banger. So,
Nice.
and they're not stopping. We got like it's like two or three flavors. It's like two flavors and a reskin every month so far. So my wife's like, I'm glad you got sponsored because, like, if not, I'm gonna be spending so
You're
much money on G
spending a
Fuel.
lot of money. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's funny.
but yeah, no. Have you been talking any sponsorships or anything like that?
So I have a couple in the works right now. I can't really talk about them right now, but yeah, I
But
do.
you
I
are
have a
talking.
couple.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So I actually have an agent that handles that kind of thing. But I physically for the gaming aspect of it, my agent they've never really done anything with gaming before. They've done a lot of like TikTok and Instagram things, but not really anything as far as gaming oriented or Twitch. Um, so like I went out and tracked down a couple companies and got a couple responses from the ones that like I would really want to work with that actually responded to me.
Yeah.
And so we're talking to a couple companies right now that I really hope go through. Um, and the thing is, what I've had to realize and kind of like talk to my agent about is you got to understand on TikTok, we have a big influence. On Twitch, we have a decent influence, but we're not 1.5 million followers on Twitch. You know what I mean? So the gaming partnerships and sponsorships are going to be a little bit different versus what we would do on TikTok.
Yeah.
But the thing about Twitch is your Twitch following is heavily supportive. I think you know what I mean as far as like, oh, he believes in this product. He's actually backing this product. I'm gonna try this product. You know, they believe in you because you know they're there with you hours on end, watching you game, hanging out with you, vibing with you. So that you know they got that trust there, and they're willing to support you on things like that. So it's a new game for me to learn, but I'm excited to see what comes out of these companies that I'm talking to right now.
Yeah. Team Elevate's definitely like it's interesting to see them. Like I
Hmm.
can't obviously that's I can't talk about that either. But like seeing them kind of like throw things up in the air and like go after it,
Hmm.
it's interesting. Um,
Yeah.
I think definitely when it's I don't know. I'm thinking maybe because I signed a year contract, so I'm thinking maybe at the end of this contract, like, hey, let's see about this Dorito sponsorship. Let's see if we can float the idea. Cause that'll be
Yeah.
a game changer, man.
Yeah. Hopefully that doesn't
So,
backfire and they say, "Why's your name Danny Dorito?"
well, that's the thing though. Is like getting it trademarked and the Danny Dorito 23 LTD. Like they had to
Mhm.
prove that
Yeah,
because it's in there. So they know.
yeah,
So
they
somebody
know.
somewhere has a little thing that they looked through. We're like, yeah, we don't care.
You could be one of those basic boy Warzone streamers. Get you a Mountain Dew and a Dorito sponsorship, and then you're in there.
Yeah, yeah. No, my if people are like, what would your G Fuel flavor be if I got one? I'm like, man, I really like. I would hope that they would be down to do it if I had the Dorito sponsorship. Like, hey, let's make a Baja Blast like collaboration. I would love a G Fuel that tastes like Baja Blast, man.
That
But
would be sweet.
yeah, somebody's gonna take it. You're gonna see Baja something like in the next year, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, man.
I just want to make sure if we're gonna keep going a little bit, like, do you have any time constraints or anything? We're at like an hour
Uh,
and 40
I
minutes.
I do actually have to hop off here relatively soon.
Okay.
I actually have a stream scheduled, so
Oh yeah, yeah, you got it. That's important. Yeah, I wanted to talk about that too, because like I said, I just changed my schedule, but
Mhm,
I'm really trying to put in an effort now because like especially after today, seeing how much people care about the morning streams.
mhm.
Um, like I am so bad at like getting up and getting my ass in gear in the morning. Like I don't know if it's just because like in the military I was forced to do it, so now I just
So now
refuse.
you don't want to, yeah.
But like I take forever to like jump in the shower and like you know go make my G
Yeah.
Fuel, get my water, like all that stuff. I'm just like, next thing you know, it's like 7:10. I'm like, man, I was supposed to be on 10 minutes ago.
Danny's
But
over here at 6:45 pouring coffee and then dumping G Fuel into the coffee, like, "All right, we gotta wake up, guys."
yeah, but I'm trying to be better about my sleep. I would say that's
Yeah.
the biggest thing I've suffered with is the sleep,
Dude, and part of
and it's
that
a part of
is
it.
being a content creator and the pandemic on top of it and not having like even though I work that 9 to 5, it's gotta be worse for you than it is for me because you don't have that true, like, I gotta be up or my boss is gonna, like, kick my ass, you know?
Yeah, my
'Cause,
thing is
you know.
I kick my ass if I don't like. I will like
Right, right,
stress out and get like anxiety.
right,
Like, dude, I didn't do enough today, or I should have done this. I
right.
could have done that.
And
You know.
and that plays into the whole why you're staying up so late. I didn't get enough done, so I gotta stay up and get this done, you know? It's I totally agree with you there, man. Sleep has been and then with moving and a baby hopefully on top of it all, and then deciding that I'm just gonna go adopt these 2 little puppies at the same time, like,
Yeah, what happened
I
with that? Like, how'd
um,
you find the puppies?
so there's a place in Cincinnati, called the Animal House. They do I think it's called con cons consignment pet consignment, um, adoption, and rehoming, and, one of the things they do is like breeders that have these puppies that can't sell these puppies, can't find buyers for these puppies. They'll take them in and then they will find them a home. They don't really make money off of that. They more or less just make sure those puppies don't end up euthanized.
Yeah.
Um, and for me, we were already looking for an English bulldog. And we made a TikTok post about it like a couple weeks ago, how we were like looking for a breeder or something, blah blah blah. And we've always been open to the idea of adoption, saving a dog's life. Well, I guess these 2 puppies, they have an issue with each one of them is in their left leg, their left front paw. The one bone is growing faster than the other bone, which causes the cartilage not to grow right away, like not to grow in properly. So they walk on pretty much their wrist. Their like paw is kind of like lame. And what the vet said is that's something that'll work itself out over a couple months. They just need to wear this like soft brace to give them support so they can walk on that paw until everything
Yeah.
forms. But because of that, the breeder wasn't able to sell these dogs. And the
Yeah.
breeder basically said um, to the animal house, hey, I got these 2 dogs. I can't sell them. Here's the issue. So the animal house goes, checks out the dogs, finds out the issue was a little worse than the guy described. And the breeder pretty much told like the animal house, like, yeah, I don't want these dogs to come back. Meaning, like, if they come back, they're gonna be euthanized because it was essentially a puppy mill, essentially.
Yeah.
Um, and So the animal house took these guys in so that they didn't end up being euthanized, because that's like the animal house's big thing. They're a small local business. Literally, their shop is an old house that has been converted into a shop. And so when I went in, I knew these puppies were coming in. I had talked to the owner. He told me he was going to pick them up the week later. He got them in, took them to the vet, and he's like, "Man, I can't see these puppies getting put down or anything." And he had talked to me several times. He said, you guys seem like a good couple, a good stable family. You know these puppies have issues, and you're willing to help nurture them back up to where they need to be. He said, if you want to adopt both of these dogs and keep them together, he said, I'll let them go for what I have in them, which was he had to pay the breeder $400 because the breeder would not just give him these puppies. The breeder would have rather put them down and rather than to lose money on these dogs.
Yeah.
So he had to pay $400 a piece, basically the vet bills that this breeder had in them, and then he paid $100 each for an X-ray when he brought him back to the shop. So he said, if you adopt both of them, I'll let them both go for 500. I know they're going to a good home. That's what I have in them, and I'm pretty much just passing them along to you because I know you're going to take care of them. And we've had them for a little over a week now. Their paws are already improved. They're actually walking on their paw now. I think it was just a matter of they were just crammed in a cage and not really cared about. They're 15
Yeah.
weeks old. They got to a point where they were getting to that age number where somebody wasn't willing to take them because they were, beyond the normal age to adopt a puppy, and they were losing value to the breeder. Um, so it felt good and it felt right. Like, even though we got a lot going on to, take these two puppies in and just help them get where they need to be, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I've ever since I was living on my own, in the military, I just always wanted a dog. It just never felt right because I was gonna get a dog to just leave it in a kennel or like a dog hotel for
Right.
deployments. Like it just doesn't seem right. So
Right.
finally getting a dog was a big thing for me. So that's
Yeah.
awesome, man. I'm happy for you. Dogs
Yeah, I'm
are
happy for you. Your
awesome.
your dog seems really sweet. How is, Sammy doing?
So we think he might have a bladder problem or something. Cause like he
Yeah.
he he like randomly like we'll let him outside for half an hour and he'll come in and like just randomly like pee a little bit somewhere. So I don't know what's going
Mhm.
on there. Um, but
Some
he's an
dogs,
interesting
that's like
dog.
a common thing. They just get, like, excited. Does he get real excited?
I mean, sometimes it's not even that. Like, he'll just randomly all of a sudden there's like a little puddle somewhere and it's like what's going on?
Hmm.
Like he's like it's almost like I don't know if something's wrong with something. Maybe he didn't develop right or something. You never know. But we're gonna get him checked out for that. Um, but other than that, he's just grown like a weed. Like, and the thing is, like, I keep telling my wife because she's like, he's getting so big. I'm like, he's gonna be double that size because it says, like at 4 months they're gonna be about double. And so
Mhm.
like, I just keep reminding her because he's right around 4 months now. So it's like he's probably gonna be about double this size, and he's a decent sized dog. He's probably gonna be like a on the bigger side of a medium sized dog, I think. So
Well, your dog's growing this way. My
yeah, he's
dogs are
tall.
growing this
Well,
way.
no, he's going. That's the thing is like the last like week or so, it seems like he's gotten like longer too. So it's like, man, this
Yeah.
dog is just all over the
Well, I'm
place.
I'm not talking longer. I'm talking my dogs
Oh
are
yeah,
getting
getting
wide.
yeah. No, never mind. It's different breed, different breed. Yeah,
Yeah.
but uh, now he's a weird mix, man. Because like we got the DNA test because we're like we don't know what the hell this dog is.
Yeah.
We had looked all over like the area here and it was like appointment only and like we would find one that we thought and like call and they'd be like, oh, somebody already took them, you just didn't update the website. It's like because there's like one person working there right now, doing
Right.
everything. And so we told my sister over a text, like, hey, help us see if you can find a dog.
Mhm.
And they found this litter at a shelter over there and they had him listed as like a shepherd mix. And I was like, I don't know. They don't really look like shepherds. Like maybe Australian shepherds. So it was really hard to tell from the pictures. But no, it turns out he's like 25% husky, 25% like Labrador retriever and
It's just a
terrier
whole
and like all
of
this. Yeah,
bugs.
I would never have guessed husky, but like, yeah, he's an interesting dog. Very
Yeah.
mellow, super mellow.
Yeah.
But he's very protective. Like I'll come up the stairs at night, or
Mhm.
like go down the stairs, and he'll hear the stairs creak and start barking. So he's very,
Yeah.
yeah, he's gonna be a good like guard dog, I think. You
Yeah,
know.
that's I mean, our dogs, they'll be just lazy dogs. They won't be much of dogs, but they're the same way, man. They're super mellow, and I think part of it too was, like I said, they're 15 weeks old now, and I don't think they were really cared for when they were at the breeder before the animal
Yeah.
house picked them up. So I think they just kind of really got their first chance at being loved, and they're just the sweetest dogs. They're pretty much house trained already within a week. They're super easy to train because they're very food motivated. So like we've already got these puppies on the sit command, the lay down command, potty trained. They're doing great, man. They're doing great.
Yeah, like my parents have I think 4 dogs right now. So
Hmm.
they have a Chihuahua which we've had forever. Like I think we got that Chihuahua when we got her when I was in like middle school. And so she's getting up there in age, but it's weird, man. Like the smaller dogs, they take so much longer to age. Like she still looks
Yeah,
almost exactly the
yeah,
same, you know. But 3 Basset Hounds, and so like they're very very sluggish. Don't need a whole lot of like they just don't need a whole lot of attention throughout the day,
just
you
a
know.
whole lot.
But my
Oh.
yeah, but my dad growing up, like I always remembered him talking about he had a like a boxer, I think. So he's always liked kind of like those bigger dogs,
Yeah,
that are super loyal and
yeah,
do require more exercise and stuff like that. And so
right.
I could tell when they came to visit, he really liked Sammy. So it was cool to see that. Like I think my dad's happy with the dog that we got. I think he might be jealous actually. Sorry, Dad.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
But
my dad's watching my puppies right now until we moved in
yeah,
the house. Like I said, I've been over there every day for hours, but I have a strong feeling they're gonna try to talk me into letting them keep one of them when I go to pick
yeah,
them up. I was like, nope, sorry, they're brother and sister. They're gonna be together. And I think that's part of why they've been such good dogs is because they've been together since birth, and they still have each other. You know what I mean? They've still got a part of their family, and they've just done really well. I mean, they get in their little brother sister fights every now and then, but
yeah.
they're great dogs, man. They're great.
Yeah, no, Sammy's funny because some of the neighbors here have dogs, and like they'll come over and like they'll just play or whatever. Like he has no
Yeah,
problem with other dogs, but people, he's just like he doesn't want nothing to do with it. He's scared or something. Cause like I took him for a walk the other night, and he just like every car that came by, he like went on the like as far as he could get on that leash away from the cars. It was funny. It's like, man, you scaredy cat.
my
But
dogs, they're just so lazy. And they got the bum paw. They just like sit there and look at the sounds like it's nothing. Just like, oh, all right, where's the food?
yeah,
Just always looking for a snack.
yeah. But I'm excited to see him continue to like get older and what he's gonna be like, full size and everything.
Yeah, he's a
But
good looking dog, man. I've seen him in the TikToks. He's a good looking dog.
yeah, yeah. I'm surprised. Yeah, I mean, when you get a dog that you're not like sure what it is, you're always like, I hope this doesn't end up looking like some goofy ass dog. But
Yeah,
no,
until he turns out normal,
yeah,
man.
yeah. But no, man, that's awesome. I'll let you get going, so you can go
Yeah,
stream. I
yeah,
you know,
good.
love catching up, man.
Yeah, we'll have to do this again, and then like I said, I'll hit you up maybe after we move into the house. Maybe if you got some time. I don't know if you stream on the day I'm planning to do my 1 year celebration or not. But I've been playing some Siege off stream. I'm gonna start streaming that. I just had to get the mechanics down. I've been playing some Valorant off stream, so like I'm really
Oh,
starting to
okay,
diversify a little bit here.
good.
Um,
That's good.
yeah, so like I said, when I do that 24-hour celebration, whenever you're free, I'd love to get some games in with you. Whatever. Like I said, I've been mixing
Yeah,
it up.
yeah. I'm doing the Stand Up to Cancer charity stream this Saturday. So if you want to hop into anything for that, it'll be a 12-hour
Yeah,
stream.
yeah. If I got some time, I don't know what we got planned for Saturday, but just shoot me a text or whatever, and if I got time, I'd love to jump in and help you out with that.
Cool, man. Yeah, great talk.
Yep, for sure. We'll have to do it again once you hit 2 million
Oh
followers on
yeah,
TikTok.
yeah. I don't. You down for a podcast in like 2 weeks? I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah,
You never
baby.
know, man.
Yeah. You said
But
2 weeks, man. I'm giving you 5 days. I think you'll be there
five
in 5
days?
days.
Yeah, I don't
5
know,
days.
man. It's so unpredictable. But
Yeah,
uh,
but you'll get there, man. You deserve it. You've been killing it.
thanks, man. It really did mean a lot to me, the stuff you said. So
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I knew you would, man. Like I said, it's a matter of time. It's always a matter of time, and you stayed consistent, and it just took off, man. It's there. Just gotta ride that wave.
all right, man. Well, I'll be I'll be watching you. I'll be watching what's going on. Good luck with
Yeah, for
everything. Hope
sure.
everything goes well.
Yeah, man. Take it easy. Hit me up.
All right, man. Peace.